for all the Karen Did It supporters. You will probably hate me after this video. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Wow, what a day. What a boring day of staring at the white fan. So I was on this morning chatting with some of y'all, and I was on a little bit in the afternoon, and then I had to scoot off. But I thought for sure that we were going to get a verdict today, and we didn't. So here I am, yapping away. No verdict. What do you guys think about that? I mean, seriously, I'm shocked, but I guess they only had 9 hours of deliberating over 2 days' time. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow. Also, we had a thing with the attorneys for Karen Read. They asked for some modification of the jury slip. So there was, the jury form had 1 not guilty option and 4 guilty options. Okay, so the lawyer says that this is confusing and unfair to Karen, and it looks like the court is, it makes it look like the court is pushing for a guilty verdict. Well, the defense basically asked for a not guilty box to be added for each charge. And classic Bev, said no. So there we are there. But now that I've given you those 2 big pieces of information for the day, I wanted to talk about something that I spoke about earlier, and I thought it was really a compelling argument about Karen Read and why she didn't go inside the house that day. So a lot of people have said, why didn't she just go in with him? Well, okay. Let me say this. When you are having an emotional affair with somebody for like 3 weeks, and then B, you just came from the waterfall bar where you were, with your guy, John O'Keefe, flirting with each other. There was even a kiss on the forehead, and that Brian Higgins and Brian Albert are nearby. There's a storm a-brewing, right? They're there, and they're like, I have no doubt in my mind that Brian Higgins made it known to Brian Albert that, hey, I've been talking to this girl for 3 weeks. We got something going on. And she's been flirting with me and inviting me to her house. Pretty much she led him on. But all it takes is for you to tell your fellow cop friend while you're having drinking heavily, that this is going on. The 2 were getting kind of, roughhousing it in the bar. I personally think that Karen maybe could foresee that there was a problem that was going to happen as a result of her actions of having this ongoing little side thing with Brian Higgins. So, if it was you, and you were invited to this after party, right? And you can see that, and there was a problem. In the video, you can see there's a problem with Brian Higgins before he walks out. He is clearly mad. He is clearly, puffed up. And with that, when you're with a bunch of guys that are police officers, everyone's trying to show each other up, right? So combined with alcohol, I think it was very evident to Karen that, this is not good. Then they invite them back to the after party. She gets in a car with John. They drive to 34th Fairview. They get there. It makes total sense. I wouldn't want to go inside to a party where I'm going to be even closer, more intimate setting with my boyfriend and this guy that I'm talking to, and not having them, have any kind of interaction, because she even said through her text messages with Brian that Oh, John knows we've been talking. And then do you remember Brian Higgins was like, oh, great. Like that's not good. This thing was coming to a head. There was like an explosion that was about to happen. So I would be like, yeah, why don't you go inside and see if there's really a party going on? In the hopes that maybe she could just, he'd come back out and they could just go home. But that didn't happen either, did it? Now, does it matter what I think about Karen's innocence or guilt? I said today, I do have an opinion. And most of you know it. You know my stance on this case. But I want to drive home that whether you think Karen hit him with that SUV or not is irrelevant at this point. And the reason why I say that is because the case is so botched. There are so many mistakes. Evidence wasn't taken properly. There was no, crime scene tape. There were no sniffing dogs. Proctor and Jen McCabe both didn't even go into the house, but Proctor especially didn't even go check. I mean, how do you not look to see if there's evidence in the house? How do you not look to see if the people that live at the actual house where there's a body laying there, how do you not go check to see if they're okay or if there's not somebody dead inside the house there? How do you not ask questions of the homeowner and say, hey, why do you have a dead body on your front lawn? I mean, it's not, this isn't rocket science, people. Okay? All right, I'm going to say it. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if the truth was, we're never going to get the truth because it's just everything's so screwed up. But if there was a way to find out that maybe she did hit him on accident, at minimum, that's what she did. But I don't think Karen hit him with the SUV. I don't. There's too much evidence that counteracts that. And there's too many things that went wrong. Police sirens, Karen screaming. Brian and Nicole did not come out of the house. They didn't come out to say, hey, what are you guys doing here with your million lights and loud noises? Why are you on my front lawn? They didn't do that. Mm-mm. And also, Jen didn't go inside. A dog that they apparently had there at the party just a few hours earlier wasn't barking. That's because the dog wasn't there anymore. Okay, the dog wasn't there anymore. Yeah. So you got that. You got Jen McCabe and her, stupid Google search. She said that she was on Google looking up her, I guess, a basketball schedule, baseball schedule. I don't remember exactly what it was, what sport it was. Does it really matter? It doesn't. It just came home from a party that she was drinking at. And she's sitting up at that point looking up a schedule, a sports schedule. I don't think so. That is she's trying to fall onto that. She makes the Google search, but then says, the only reason why it's showing at 2:27, I think it is because I left the window open, the Google window open. And then when I finally went to search it in the morning around 6, whatever it was, I used the same window. Well, that's a bunch of BS. That didn't happen. No, she made the Google search. And if you believe she made the Google search, which most people do, then Jen McCabe knew that John O'Keefe was either already dead or dying in the snow. I mean, for all we know, she hightailed it out of there when she knew what was going on and he was still alive, and then the other two finished the job. I don't know. But, yeah. So, there's that. Then you got Proctor not questioning the homeowner. He goes to a neighbor's house and takes things that are probably riddled with fingerprints to use from the neighbor to collect evidence instead of going back to the police department to get an evidence bag or an evidence kit. Okay? Then he's seen on video at the Canton Police Department around 1, I don't remember the times, everybody, so don't get on me about that, but like 1:35, 1:40 maybe, went back to Canton Police Department. Says he had to get something from a truck. He's seen walking through the hallways. Then later on, he's in the Sallyport. I mean, really, how can you think Karen did anything? She's, and then you look at his messages. He hadn't even investigated yet, and he's getting on a group call, and he's calling her the C word, and he's saying that she's the one, that Brian's going to be all right, and she's the one who's going to take the fall, and yada, yada, yada. And it just gets worse and worse and worse for that guy. Then think about what the jury sees. The jury didn't see Brian Albert come forward and testify. They did not see Proctor come forward and testify. There's a lot of missing people. I would think that they're in that room right now going, how can we convict this girl when the lead investigator didn't even talk? We don't even have anything from him. I am just blown away by the Karen's guilty supporters. You guys must have some, like, I mean, she's just, she definitely comes off a little cocky, and there's some things that she does that I don't like, but people, you can't convict somebody of this with this kind of crap that the Commonwealth gave, and that the police department, they messed up so bad. How could you convict somebody? Brian Higgins had the motive. He had the motive, and that is the story that makes the most sense here. Karen went home. She fell asleep, wakes up, and don't forget, she makes the calls on the way back to John O'Keefe's house, right? She leaves the after party, and in her northeast way about her, she calls him up on the phone. John, whatever, just going off. Nobody would do that if they just drove away after hitting somebody. You hit your boyfriend and you kill him, and then you immediately start calling him and screaming at him. No, nobody would do that. That would only draw attention to you. The police are going to get the messages off of John O'Keefe's phone, so why would you do that? You wouldn't do that. Then you go home. You fall asleep. And then you wake up. And when you wake up, you're like, oh my gosh, he's not here. And then you start calling everybody. Again, drawing attention to yourself, right? Honestly, if Karen did it, what a guilty person would have done was just gone to bed and stayed away from the whole thing and pray that they'll leave you, that you don't draw attention to yourself. I would wait as long as I could. I mean, she did so many things that an innocent person does. When she is talking about, did I hit him? I think I hit him. Did I hit him? Do you think I hit him? When you have had something, things to drink, when you have, just woken up, you are definitely sobering up too, right? At this point, she's probably sober, but just, you're not thinking rationally. You're offering up stuff that doesn't make any sense. I've done this before. Oh, did I say something wrong? Did I do that? I could totally see myself going, did I hit him? There's no way I hit him, right? Totally normal behavior. So don't go there about that. I'm, you know, I think I'm a pretty fair person. I think that I like to look at things, I look at both sides, I really do. And I'm the first person to tell you when I think somebody, has been nailed to the wall with guilt, but I can't on this one. And if you all believe that there are people that are convicted, and put in jail that are innocent, then more even for that reason alone, uh, you need to set Karen free because this is ridiculous. There's not enough. And it sucks for the O'Keefes because they lost their son. I want them to have justice. Even if she did do it, the case sucks. You can't put her in jail for this. Because then you're setting an example for the justice system to do this to future innocent people. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made sense. There are people out there that rely on the prosecution to prove their case. A defendant relies on a jury hearing proof. If you are sending people to jail on this garbage, then I'm scared for all people that are involved in something that, I don't know. This is just not, it's a horrible case. So I would like to know what you guys think below about what I'm saying. Did I change anyone's mind at all? Did I help anyone understand that? I'm hoping I have like a practical, intelligent person that's listening right now that thinks she is guilty to say, you know what, you made a good point. I still think she's guilty, but the case sucks. It's not enough. The corruption goes right to the judge too. And the bias in this case. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I really, really appreciate you guys. I appreciate my viewers. Make sure you comment below, subscribe, like, share, and yeah, join me for next time. Bye.